If you crave dark romance where danger breathes close, where desire is held back by discipline instead of fear, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Tonight's story begins in a dark parking garage, and with the vampire who walked me through it and refused to let go. I don't usually stay late at work. I'm careful about that. About routines. About leaving before the building empties and the city shifts into something less forgiving. But deadlines don't care about instincts, and that night I'm still at my desk long after the last light on my floor clicks off. By the time I shut down my computer, the office is silent. Too silent. The elevator ride down feels longer than it should. The hum of the cables echoes, stretching each second thin. When the doors open into the underground parking garage, the air changes immediately. Cooler, heavier, thick with the smell of concrete and oil. I hesitate. The garage is vast, rows of cars disappearing into shadow. Most of the lights are on, but not all of them. Some flicker faintly. Some never turn on at all. I tighten my grip on my bag and step out. That's a bad idea. The voice comes from my left. I spin, heart slamming against my ribs. A man stands near one of the support pillars, half in shadow. White, tall, pale in a way that feels deliberate, not sickly. Dark hair neatly styled. Dark coat buttoned high at the throat. He looks untouched by the cold, posture relaxed but alert. Like he's been standing there longer than I've been alive. I didn't hear you, I say. You wouldn't, he replies calmly. I straighten, irritation flaring to cover my unease. This is a private garage. Yes, he says. Which is why you shouldn't walk through it alone. I'm fine, I say automatically. I do this every night. He tilts his head slightly, listening to something I can't hear. His eyes flick briefly to my throat, then to my wrist, then back to my face. No, he says. You don't. Something about the certainty in his voice makes my skin prickle. I work security here, he adds before I can respond. That surprises me. I've never seen you. That's intentional. I frown. You don't look like security. A faint curve touches his mouth. Not a smile. An acknowledgement. And you don't look like someone who should be in this garage right now. I should walk away. I know that. Instead I ask, why? He doesn't answer immediately. He listens again, head angled slightly, gaze unfocused for a fraction of a second before sharpening. Because someone followed you down the ramp, he says quietly. And they're pretending they didn't. My pulse spikes. I glance toward the entrance, heart pounding. I don't see anyone, but the shadows feel deeper now, closer. That's not funny, I say. I'm not joking, he replies. And I need you to stay where you are. Excuse me. He takes one step closer, not crowding, not threatening, just close enough that I'm acutely aware of him. My name is Victor, he says. And I'm going to walk you to your car. I didn't ask for help. No, he agrees. But you need it anyway. I swallow. And if I say no, then I'll stay close enough to intervene, he says. But I'd rather you choose. The way he says choose makes my chest tighten. I hesitate, then nod once. Fine. Good, he says softly. He positions himself beside me, not in front, not behind. Just close enough that his shoulder almost brushes mine as we start walking. His presence feels steady, controlled, deliberate. Not predatory. Protective. You're very calm, I say, trying to sound normal. I'm trained to be, he replies. For what? For restraint. We pass the first row of cars. My footsteps echo too loudly. Every sound feels amplified. Keys rattling somewhere. The distant drip of water. The soft hum of electricity overhead. Are you armed? I ask. Yes. With what? With myself, he says. I glance at him sharply. That's not reassuring. It should be, he replies. If I were human. I stop walking. What? He stops with me, turning slightly so he's between me and the darker stretch of the garage. I'm not human, he says calmly. My heart stutters. You're joking. No. Then what are you? A vampire, he answers as if telling me the time. The word lands heavy. I wait for fear. Panic. Something. What I feel instead is awareness. Of how close he is. Of how steady he remains while my pulse races. of the way his eyes soften almost imperceptibly when he hears my heartbeat quicken. You could have done something, I say. Yes. But you didn't. No. Why? Because you didn't consent, he replies. And because I don't feed in places I guard. You guard parking garages? I ask weakly. I guard people, he says. Garages are incidental. We start walking again, slower now. You're hearing my heart, I realize. Yes. All the time. Yes. And that doesn't bother you? His jaw tightens slightly. It does. Then why stay so close? Because fear makes it louder, he says. And I'd rather hear it steady. The words sink into me, unsettling and intimate all at once. We turn down another row. That's when I see him. A man leaning against a car near the far exit, pretending to check his phone. His gaze flicks up when he notices us, then away too quickly. My stomach drops. That's him, Victor murmurs. The man straightens, steps forward. Victor moves instantly. One moment he's beside me, the next he's in front of me, one arm extended slightly back as if to keep me behind him without touching. Leave, Victor says calmly. The man scoffs. This is public parking. It's private, Victor replies. And you're done here. The man's eyes flick to me. She doesn't look like she's with you. She is, Victor says. I don't argue. The man hesitates, then backs away, muttering under his breath as he disappears toward the stairs. Silence rushes in. I'm shaking. Victor turns slowly, eyes scanning my face, my posture, my hands. You're safe, he says. Breathe. I do. He listens. I can feel it, the way his attention shifts as my pulse steadies. You held your arm out, I say quietly. Like you were stopping yourself. Yes. From what? Touching you. He answers honestly. I didn't know if that would help or harm. My throat tightens. We continue walking. When we reach my car, he stops but doesn't step back immediately. He stands close enough that I can feel the cold steadiness of him through the air. You don't let go easily, I say. No, he replies. Why? Because danger doesn't announce itself when it's finished, he says. And because I don't release what I'm responsible for too soon. That sounds personal. It is, he admits. I unlock my car, but I don't get in right away. You do this often? I ask. Walk people through garages, he asks. Refuse to let go, I clarify. A pause. Only when it matters, he says. And I matter? Yes. The word lands like a weight in my chest. I swallow. You could just take control. You're stronger. Yes. But you don't. No. Why? Because restraint is the only thing that makes me safe, he says. And you deserve safety, not dominance. The honesty in his voice steals my breath. I should go, I say. Yes, he agrees. But I'll watch until you leave. I get into my car. Start the engine. He doesn't move. I hesitate, then roll down the window. Will I see you again? His gaze sharpens, something unreadable flickering behind his eyes. Yes, he says. You park here every night. And you. I'll be here, he replies. Whether you see me or not. I drive away with my heart pounding, my thoughts tangled. The next night I stay late again. I tell myself it's coincidence. It isn't. He's there when I step into the garage, waiting in the same place, posture relaxed, attention already on me. You came back, he says. So did you, I reply. Yes. Do you ever take nights off? No. Why? Because this is when people are most vulnerable, he answers. And because you walk through here. The pattern forms quickly. The nights begin to blur together in a way that feels intentional. Not routine choice. Victor never assumes. Every evening, he waits just far enough away that I have to step toward him first. Not as a test, not as pressure, but as permission quietly offered and patiently withheld. You don't have to, he says one night when I hesitate. I know, I reply. I still want to. That admission changes the air between us. He walks more slowly after that. Keeps his pace matched to mine instead of setting it. When we pass darker sections of the garage, he adjusts without comment, positioning himself closer. His presence a steady weight at my side. You're listening again. I say softly. Yes. What are you hearing? Resolve, he answers. That's louder than fear. I don't know what to do with that, so I keep walking. Some nights we talk. Not about danger. Not about what he is. About ordinary things. Music that plays in empty rooms. Cities that feel safer at dawn than at noon. The strange relief of silence after crowds disperse. You don't talk much, I say once. I do, he replies. Just not out loud. And with me. He considers. More than I should. The honesty lands gently, but it lands. I start to notice the restraint costs him something. The way his jaw tightens when my pulse spikes for reasons unrelated to fear. The way his hands curl into fists at his sides when I step too close without thinking. The way he exhales, slow, controlled, whenever instinct surges and discipline has to hold. One night I stop walking entirely. He stops with me instantly. Did something happen? He asks. No, I say. I just wanted to see if you would. If I would what? Stop. I always stop, he replies. That's the point. And if I didn't? His gaze darkens, not with hunger but with conflict. Then I would still stop. Even if it hurt. Why? I ask. Because the moment restraint becomes conditional. He says quietly. It stops being restraint at all. The weight of that truth settles between us. I step closer, slowly, deliberately, until we're standing inches apart. He doesn't retreat. He doesn't advance. He just holds himself there, control carved into every line of his posture. You could, I whisper. Yes. But you won't. No. Because you're guarding me, I say. And because, he adds, voice low, I want you to feel safe choosing me, not cornered by what I am. The words undo something in my chest. I nod once. Step back. His shoulders ease almost imperceptibly. Thank you, he says. For what? For trusting me to stop, he replies. From that night on, the space between us isn't empty. It's deliberate. And somehow that makes it more intimate than any touch ever could. The danger returns a week later. Another presence. Another wrongness in the air. Victor senses it before I do, body tensing, attention sharpening. Stay behind me, he says. This time I do. The confrontation is swift and violent. I don't see all of it. Just flashes of movement, a snarl cut short. The sound of something hitting concrete hard. When it's over, Victor turns back to me. Control barely held together. I'm sorry, he says. I didn't want you to see that. I'm not afraid, I say, surprised to realize it's true. He studies me, listening, confirming. No, he says softly. You're not. I step closer, closing the space he always keeps. He doesn't move away. You never let go, I say. I know. Then don't, I whisper. He still doesn't touch me, but he stays close enough that I feel safe, grounded, chosen. The vampire walked me through a dark parking garage. And in that space between danger and restraint, I realized something I'll never forget. Sometimes the strongest protection isn't in what's taken, but in what's deliberately, painfully, lovingly held back.